Some betrayals break your heart, others, they reveal who truly belongs in your life. Sophia had always believed she had a perfect family. Her father, Daniel, was a strong, disciplined man who worked hard to provide for them. Her stepmother, Linda, was distant but civil. And though she never felt fully accepted by them, she convinced herself that she was just overthinking it. The only person she felt truly connected to was Grandma Eleanor. The old woman adored her, always reminding her, "You are my pride, my first grandchild, and everything I leave behind will be yours one day." Sophia never cared about the inheritance. She cared about her grandmother's love. But then, on the night of Grandma Eleanor's passing, her father pulled her aside with a cold expression. "You need to know the truth," he said. "You're not my real daughter." Sophia froze. Her heart stopped. "You were never part of this family by blood," he continued, "and that means you have no claim to anything Grandma left behind." A deep, painful silence filled the room. And in that moment, Sophia realized this wasn't about truth. This was about greed. And she was about to uncover a secret that would change everything. For days, Sophia wandered in a daze. She kept replaying her father's words, trying to make sense of them. Was it true? Was she really not his daughter? Her mind raced back to childhood memories, the little moments where she felt like an outsider in her own home. But if it was true, why had no one ever told her before? Determined to find answers, she went to Grandma Eleanor's lawyer. The man gave her a sad smile. "I was expecting you." He slid a folder across the desk. Inside were two things that changed everything: a DNA test and Grandma Eleanor's real will. Sophia's hands trembled as she read the results. Daniel was lying. She was his daughter by blood. And as for the will, her heart pounded, because everything, the house, the wealth, the inheritance, was left to her. Sophia's blood boiled as she walked into her childhood home, clutching the will in her hands. Her father sat in the living room with Linda, sipping coffee, looking far too comfortable. He raised an eyebrow. "What are you doing here?" Sophia slammed the folder onto the table. "Tell me again how I'm not your daughter." Daniel's face drained of color. She held up the DNA results. "Because this says otherwise." Linda choked on her coffee. Sophia's voice shook, but she refused to back down. "You lied. You wanted to erase me from Grandma's will so you could take everything for yourself?" Daniel opened his mouth, then shut it. He had no excuse, no defense. Then she pulled out the will. "The house, the money, the land, it's all mine." Linda gasped. "That's impossible." Sophia smirked, tossing the document onto the table. "Read it and weep." Daniel clenched his jaw. "You don't understand, Sophia. We were only trying to—" She held up a hand. "I don't need your excuses." She turned toward the door, pausing just long enough to say, "Pack your bags." "Because this house, it doesn't belong to you anymore." And with that, she walked away, leaving behind the people who never truly saw her as family. Days later, Sophia stood in the doorway of her grandmother's house, her house now. The warmth of childhood memories wrapped around her like a hug. She had lost her father that day, but in truth, she had lost him long before that. Now, she was done proving her worth to people who didn't deserve her. Because family isn't just blood. It's the people who love you without conditions. And for the first time in her life, Sophia finally understood her own worth. Lies can take everything from you until you take your power back. And when you do, there's no looking back.